It's odd that you see the President of the United States asking our greatest ally in the world, and certainly one of our greatest allies in the Middle East, to have a ceasefire with a terrorist organization that continues to attack them. Listen, from a military perspective, Israel right now is fundamentally degrading the leadership of Hamas and PIJ, the Palestinian Islamic Jihad. These are two terrorist groups located there. And so I suspect as long as Israel is having a fantastic targeting game in terms of taking out the leaders of these terrorist groups, they're going to continue this effort, as any country would do if there was a terrorist entity that was sending long-range rockets to harm their civilians. So I certainly don't blame Netanyahu there. I see, John, just a greater struggle within the Democratic Party. You've seen Nancy Pelosi, for example, who had very strong statements. You've actually, to give them credit, you've seen the Biden administration still stand up for Israel at the UN. So they have done some things that I agree with. But unfortunately, what may be happening is that the president may be caving to the loudest voices in his party. Now, if we look at this from a geopolitical perspective, what these people like Rashida Tlaib and AOC and others are talking about doing is fundamentally changing our allies, our alliances in the Middle East. They've instituted and are putting through legislation to stop weaponry sales to Israel during the middle of a war right now. I'm not sure that that's going to gain any steam in the Congress, but I can't underscore how radical this position is. All of the talk in the campaign about restoring, quote unquote, restoring American alliances and giving faith and goodwill to our allies again, which I don't even think was needed, but that's fine. That's what the campaign said that they were going to do. The actions that the loudest members of the Democrat Party are talking about right now are radical, they are extreme, and they would fundamentally alter our relationships with our allies in the Middle East. And if this is how the president and his party are going to behave, Americans need to take a really strong look at what they're doing with Israel and Russia and elsewhere around the world. These actions, these words have serious consequences, John.